and a lot of you guys were requesting for a voiceover video. So here we are. Starting our list with number 10, we have From the Grave and Back. Han Myung-woo, a child of a wealthy family with a quick mind, but God didn't give him everything. A near incurable genetic disease, he did his best in order to earn the respect of people around him. But his father, the chairman, and his family members never took him seriously. That was when an accident suddenly struck him, and he woke up in the body of the severely injured student Kim Cheol-min. And that is when the journey of our main character starts. Now the main character is super overpowered because not only does he has the skills of a martial artist, but he also uses his brains. Now he starts his journey for revenge on who did that particular accident and to find out the reason why he was reborn. On number 9 we have A Returner's Magic Should Be Special. This is one of my favorite action fantasy school life manhwas. The Shadow World, the most catastrophic existence humanity has ever faced in history, Dazir Arman, is one of the 6 remaining survivors of mankind within it. The 6th attempt to clear the final level of the labyrinth but ultimately fails, and the world comes to an end. However, when Dazir thought he would meet his demise, what is revealed before him is the world 13 years ago. Dazir is returned to the past, back to the time when he was enrolled at the nation's finest magic academy, Haviron. He is reunited with his precious friends and is prepared to change the past to save the world and his loved ones. 3 years remaining before the emergence of the Shadow World. Change the past and gather strong comrades to save mankind. Now, the most amusing thing about this manhwa is that the main character is weak. That is what people think. But in reality, the main character travels to the past and becomes overpowered. So, I will definitely recommend you this manhwa. On number 8 we have Life Completely Ruined. Now this is a masterpiece when someone recommended me that this is written by the same writer who wrote How to Fight. So I thought, okay, so he wrote How to Fight, then definitely I'm going to read it. And let me tell you, I never regretted this decision because this manhwa is so good. So let's start with the story. 21-year-old Jang Encheol has been on a fast track to success when he is cursed by a classmate that he bullied 3 years ago in high school. Now placed in a loser's body he had bullied 3 years ago, he is tasked with stopping 4 life completely ruined incidents as well as rehabilitating his past self in order to undo the curse. How will he navigate his way through his past self and his cronies' torments? Well, personally, for some people who might think that the main character is not overpowered, then let me tell you, the main character is overpowered, but the only thing is he has to pretend to be a weak guy because of a certain conditions that you will know after you read this manhwa. On number 7 we have Study Group. Gamin Yoon, a 17-year-old college student, goes to a school which is known to harbor future criminals. Stuck in a carnivorous environment where only the strongest survives, he struggles to get good grades to enter a 4-year university. But will he be able to study well enough to enter the university? Or will he get involved in the unending fights around the school? Well, when you will first start this manhwa, you will think that the MC is a loser, but it is not the case because the MC might look weak, but he is a lot stronger. He is not only a fan of Bruce Lee, but he knows some great martial arts. So I definitely recommend this one, and also this one has a lot of chapters, so you won't get bored. On number 6 we have West North's Grim Reaper. Now I know a lot of you guys have not read this because this was originally started in 2020 but then it was dropped, and now they have picked it up again, which is a good thing for us manhwa lovers. Well, the story follows something like this. Lee Yuna is a high school girl who was supposed to die before dawn. The Grim Reaper visits her to guide her to the afterlife the night before, but is hit with a twist. Unexpectedly, her lifespan gets extended last minute, and now the Grim Reaper is tasked with protecting her for 70 more years. I will be the one taking you. So this is the life of how a high school girl is being protected by the Grim Reaper himself, and the Grim Reaper is very overpowered. So this is a fun manhwa which you should definitely read. On number 5 we have a new manhwa known as Gang of School. So this manhwa currently has only 5 chapters, but they are super long and interesting. So, a family that collapsed like sand castles in an instant because of their father's suicide. I became the head of the household, responsible for my mother who had lost her mind and my sister who had to attend a school for the visually impaired. I have to transfer to the best gangster school in Busan to make my own gang for the sake of my family. This is what the MC does. And let me tell you, this is the journey of the main character who becomes overpowered because of his family problems. So I think you should definitely give it a read because the art is awesome as well as the story is super unique. On number 4 we have a masterpiece known as Dokgo. Now I don't know how I stumbled upon this piece of diamond, but let me tell you, this is highly underrated. The story is too good and the art is super unique. So the story is something like this. After Kang Ho's death from bullying, the family was torn into pieces. His younger brother suppresses his resentment and heads back to school. The story begins exactly 1 year after Kang Ho's death, when his brother seeks to destroy the delinquent circle. Now what I like the best about this manhwa is that the main character is patient, cunning and ruthless. You will love to see how he takes revenge for his brother's death. On number 3 we have another popular one, that is Boss in School. So this manhwa has only 118 chapters and is now completed. The story is Seth Kwon was a born fighter, but due to his promise with his mother, he decides to stop fighting even in self-defense. Everything changes when his father dies and leaves him with a single message: stop getting your ass kicked. And that is when the MC shows his true powers. The art is very similar to Rooftop Swordmaster. Oh yeah, Rooftop Swordmaster is also a great manhwa, so those of you who have not read, they can definitely go and read. On number 2 we have God of Blackfield. The legend of the French Foreign Legion, Kang Chan. During the African War, he was called God of Blackfield by his enemies who were very terrified of him. However, during a mission to kill Masallan, the brain behind SISS, the group of Sunni supporters, Kang Chan was killed in action by an unknown bullet shot from behind him. As his vision got blurry, he saw 13 team members who had absolute faith in him getting killed one after another. As Kang Chan was awaiting death after being shot by a traitor, he was saved by a mysterious power and woke up 3 years later in South Korea. However, he was in the body of another Kang Chan, a 19-year-old high school boy who was severely bullied at school. Kang Chan's journey to get revenge on the traitor and to find out the truth behind his rebirth begins now. So as you can understand, the boy who was bullied is now the Mercenary or the God of Blackfield Gang Chan, and from here the journey of overpowered MC begins. And on number 1, yes, you expected it right, it is Mercenary Enrollment, which is my favorite action manhwa. So, Yu Aijin was a sole survivor of a plane crash when he was little. After becoming a mercenary to survive for 10 years, he returns to his family in his hometown and then is admitted to a school. But later did he realize that his little sister is being bullied in school, and that is when our main character gets enraged and destroys the delinquents. But then suddenly another problem pops up. So let's see how the main character handles it. Now if you have not read this masterpiece, then let me tell you, before the end of year 2020, this was an awesome gift that was given to us by the gods. I know 2020 has been a crappy year, but at least we got something good by the end of it. Well, that's all for today's video. Okay, wait, here is some good news. I've been talking to a lot of translators lately and they have told me that they have picked up some interesting projects that are similar to solo leveling. Yes, I know that you wanted to hear it. So, those manhwas would be live by the end of January. So you can expect a video at the start of Feb or at the end of January, in which I would be covering about the top 10 manhwas that are similar to solo leveling, and that will include some new ones too. So you can subscribe our channel if you want to receive the notification. It is free. Thank you everyone and have a very beautiful day.